the idea of emphasizing mechanical things or logistical things like engineering or math over the arts, to me, is like emphasizing the role of air in your life over the role of water. It's a nonsensical kind of a comparison. Obviously, logic and reason and math and engineering and science all are vitally important in our lives, but I would argue that the arts are equally important. But we happen to, some of us, live in a society and a time when that importance has been forgotten and is often overlooked or disregarded. So this came to mind recently when I was at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, and I just happened to be in LA playing with John Prine, and I had some time off, and I thought I would go visit the museum, and because I'd never been there. So I spent the afternoon walking around and looking at all their exhibits, and when I was almost ready to leave, I realized that this is a museum that has several buildings, and I realized in one of the buildings was a Richard Serra sculpture that I'd seen a movie about, and it always intrigued me, but I didn't realize it was at this museum, and so I was really excited to find this out. So I went over there and I spent some time looking at the sculpture, and this sculpture is called Band. It's either called The Band or Band, B-A-N-D, and it refers to the ribbon-like structure of this sculpture. It's a huge installation. It takes up an entire room that's the size of a couple gymnasiums, I'd say. And it's hard to describe, other than that it's like shaped like a big ribbon that's sitting on its edge in basically a kind of a snake-like pattern. And you could see it if you look up Band. Just look it up at the internet, you'll find some images of it. It's constructed of steel that's several inches thick and maybe 20 feet high. It's like I said, it's sort of a ribbon-like structure, and it leans in and out at different points. So I think there are many people, and maybe myself in the past, who would look at something like this and say, what is this? You know, it's just a big piece of metal in a shape. It's not, how is that art, you know? And so the question that occurred to me as I was there looking at it was, why would someone spend so much time, energy, and money on something with no practical utility? But then it immediately occurred to me that that's the wrong question. I think the right question is, what is the practical utility of something like that? And I think on one hand there are as many answers to that question as there are people appreciating the particular piece of work. But I think there is a good general answer. And the general answer is, a piece of art, when it's successful, allows the viewer or the audience to see something in themselves that they couldn't see any other way. Art gives you access to a place inside yourself that can't be reached by other means. It's not something you can reason your way into, or that someone can give you a mathematical formula for reaching, or that you can take a pill for. art is like a window, and the window looks inside you. So there's a saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Now for many years, I took that saying to mean that beauty is a matter of opinion, right? I might look at a painting and think, wow, that's beautiful. Someone else might look at the same painting and say, nah, I think that's ugly, or I don't care, it doesn't do anything for me either way. Same thing with music or books or movies, sculptures. Even natural beauty, I think. I think that's nature's art. But what can happen is when you look at a piece of art and it really touches you, what is happening is you're seeing something inside yourself. There's nothing in the art, in my opinion. The art is largely inanimate, but what it is it's a symbolic representation of something that artist is communicating. And when you look at a piece of art and you fully appreciate it, what it does is it allows you to see some beauty that's inside yourself that you aren't able to reach in other ways. So, I think that is the practical utility of art in our lives. Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your comments and your thoughts on this.